Prayer is one of the most important things that we can do when it comes to investing in our relationship with God. Really simple, prayer is spending time with Him so that we can relate to and talk to God. I think for each of us, prayer is going to look a little bit different because we all have different personalities. We have different schedules, routines, and we're all in different seasons of life. You might be the kind of person that likes to pop in headphones and talk to God, to listen to Him for 15 minutes on the way to class. And after 15 minutes, you might feel great. You might feel connected to Him. You might feel like you were able to share things with Him and hear the things that He had to say in response. Or you might be the kind of person that likes to go into an empty room in your house and just sit with God quietly, maybe for up to an hour. And even after that hour, you may feel like there's still things you want to say, still things you want to hear, more time that you want to spend. Each of us is going to be a little bit different. And the season of your life is really different right now than it might be in 10 or 15 years. See, right now as a college student, you have more time than you ever will again, whether you think that or not. One day you're going to have a job. One day you're going to have a family. And those two things are going to require a lot more of you than your class schedule currently does. My encouragement to you is to create habits and routines now that allow you to give the time that you have to God so that in the future you'll do the same, even if that amount of time is less. Another thing that's going to determine how much time we spend in prayer is going to be the situations that we have going on. You might have a really difficult decision where you have to spend more time with God than you normally do because you really want to hear what He has to say. You need advice and you need guidance because you need to know what to do and what way to go. And so you're going to spend more time with God. Or you might have a situation where you really need Him to move. You need Him to do something that only He can do in your life or in the life of somebody that you love. So you're going to spend more time asking, seeking, and knocking to see what He might do. But at the end of the day, prayer is about our relationship with Jesus. It's not about how much time we spend or even how we spend that time. It's relating to Him and talking with Him so that we can know Him and we can be close to Him. What each and every one of us are called to is to abide in our relationship with God. In John 15, Jesus says, I am the vine and you are the branches. By calling us the branches and Himself the vine, what He's saying is, you have to stay connected to me. You can't do life apart from me. And that's the truth for each of us. That no matter what your prayer life looks like, each of us needs to stay connected to Jesus and our relationship with Him. We can't just turn our attention to Him 1 or 2 times a week. Throughout the week and throughout the day even, we need to turn our attention to Jesus, to talk to Him, to listen to Him, and to do life with Him. I think one of the things that steals from our relationship with Jesus the most are the things that distract us from spending time with Him and distract us from praying. And I think one of the biggest distractions that each of us have is technology. That phone that we keep in our pocket, the computer that we have in our backpack, the TV that sits in our living room and sometimes even our bedrooms at home. The time that we spend on our phone and computer and watching TV, some of it's fine, but some of it might actually be stealing from our relationship with Jesus. You know, I'm not saying all technology is bad and that we should just get rid of it all, but my question is this: how much is that contributing to your life rather than actually stealing from the things that could bring you the life Jesus has for you? Think about this. If you spend 3 hours a day on your phone, at the end of the year, you will have spent 46 days on your favorite app, on a random app. And I'm not talking just like waking hours, 46 24-hour periods of time just on your phone. Now check this out. In James' letter, he says, you have not because you've asked not. In other words, there are things that you lack in your life simply because you never asked God for them. You didn't spend time in prayer. And my question is, how many of those things that we lack are because we chose to spend time on our phone instead of spending time with Jesus? If we took back 15 minutes of those 3 hours every day, those 15 minutes a day would add up to 4 whole days spent in prayer at the end of our year. 4 whole days of asking and seeking and knocking. Who knows how deep our relationship with God would be if we did that? And who knows what we would receive, what we would find, and what doors would be open to us if we simply just spent time in prayer, hanging out with Jesus.